It's finally here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to football season. The Mouthpiece Football Podcast is back. Oh, the NBC Sunday Night Football music. It was the last song you heard as the Eagles hoisted the Lombardi Trophy high over their head. It'll be the first song you hear as the Eagles hoist the banner in Lincoln Financial Field, their first one ever. What a night that will be in Philadelphia. We got one more party, Eagles fans. Opening night, the NFL experience is in the house. Philadelphia will be the place to be. We are now just a day away from Eagles-Falcons as the Eagles look to repeat as Super Bowl champions for the first time since New England did in 03, 04. Can the Eagles do it? I will answer that question today. So we're going to do things a little different for the first episode of the Mouthpiece Football Podcast of this season. All my guys moved away. Bruni's still in Philly. Actually, Bruni's in the parking lot tailgating right now as we speak. Matty Hudson, as you know, is in Arizona. Rob, that rat bastard, moved to Pittsburgh. And Dunphy moved to San Diego on me. So I'm going to have all my boys call in. There's 4 quarters in a football game. We got 4 questions on the Mouthpiece Football Podcast. And then I will give my Super Bowl predictions. But without any further ado, let's bring in our first guest for our first question. He is the power rankings extraordinaire. And now he's made his way into Glock's locks as well. Matt Hudson. What's up, Matty?
How we doing, Brian?
Oh, yeah,
doing?
It's football season. The Mouthpiece Football Podcast is back. How we feeling?
I'm hyped. I'm pumped. Football is back. Thursday night cannot come soon enough.
Oh, my God. We're chomping at the bit here. So, I was looking at the teams in the NFL, and I was looking at your power rankings, and you know what? There's some pretty good teams this year, and the NFC is completely stacked. It's like the NBA West Conference, I feel like. And the AFC is like the East Conference with LeBron, and Brady's just LeBron. But there's a lot of parity this year. I feel like it's pretty wide open. Obviously, I think the Eagles are the best team, but I think it's pretty wide open.
I agree. NFC is absolutely stacked. And like you said, the AFC, they kind of stink. The AFC is just, it's going to be Brady again.
Yeah, it's horrible. So I want to go over my top 5 teams, your top 5 teams, and let's do something. Let's look at the bottom 5 teams too, because it was actually pretty tough for me to come up with the bottom 5, and I want to do some team over unders as well. So I'll go first. My top 5: Eagles, Patriots, Rams, Saints, Packers.
Okay, we're similar.
I'm going with Aaron Rodgers. You got to believe in Aaron Rodgers, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. On paper, Green Bay looks good. They're going to be scary, but they're actually on the outside looking in on my top 5. I'm going Eagles 1, and the matchup that they're playing against, Falcons at number 2.
Yeah, I highlighted that in the article. 1 versus 2 in our power rankings.
And then I got the Patriots, Saints, and Rams.
Wow, you're really down on the Rams, huh?
I'm just not buying it. I don't know. I think they're a decent team, but I don't think they have what it takes to go over the top this year. I think they're solid, but that's all they are. They're going to make the playoffs, and they're going to lose just like they did last year.
I look at them, and I see a lot of the 2017 Eagles. They loaded up, and they have a quarterback under a rookie contract, and they're going for it this year. I mean, Sue and Aaron Donald on that D-line is nasty and frightening, quite frankly. Brandon Cooks, Gurley, Robert Woods, Kupp. I think Goff's going to have a pretty big year. I'm kind of afraid of the Rams, to be honest with you. But we'll see. I got him at 3. You got him at 5. Really no difference. All right, let's go to the bottom 5. You start off this time. Go 5-1 to the worst.
5-1. I'll tell you what. Sam Darnold is your starter. The Jets, disaster. They're number 5. Absolute disaster. Number 4, who actually might surprise us, but they haven't proven us anything, and Tannehill coming back from injury. They lost Jarvis Landry. I got to go with the Dolphins. It's the 4th worst.
They're so bad, dude.
Number 3 it's kind of similar. The Colts. I mean, Andrew Luck, who knows what he's going to do? No one's seen him throw a football since the preseason started, but he's been checking down all preseason, and besides him, even if he comes back normal Andrew Luck, the rest of them, absolute teams, they kind of stink too.
Yeah, horrible. On the Eagles' schedule week 3, thankfully.
I don't know how this isn't number 1, but anyone who had Nathan Peterman as their starter.
I knew you were going there. I knew you were going there.
That's just atrocious. But when you go 1-31 in your first 2 seasons, Congratulations, Hugh Jackson. Once again, you are the worst team in the league.
Wow, you're going with the Browns as the worst team in the league. They're like the sexy pick this year because they were on Hard Knocks. Everybody, fantasy leagues, everybody took the Browns this year.
Everybody. Jarvis Landry's going early. Josh Gordon's going early. And guess what? The two of them guys are talented, but it's still the Browns.
No,
they do have some talent. They'll find a way to mess it up.
Hugh Jackson is a dope. There's no question about that. My 5, you know what? They're kind of similar. The only reason I'm putting Buffalo at 5 is because my boy, and I don't want to rip him too bad, but Nathan Peterman is horrendous. And I thought they were going to be bad last year, but they made the playoffs. So I put Buffalo at 5. Bucks at 4. That team is a disaster. Dirk Cotter, I don't know how that guy has a job. I'm putting the Cardinals at number 3. Remember, Sam Bradford's their starting quarterback, okay? Just remember that. 2, the Jets, and I'm saying the worst team of football is the Miami Dolphins, dude. They are brutal. Check that team out. They are brutal. They're brutal.
Can we give an honorable mention to Oakland letting Khalil Mack go? How bad was that?
You know what? That trade's weird, though, because I don't like trading a franchise player. I also don't like trading 2 first-round picks. We're gonna look back on this trade and be like, wow, okay, this is what you do or this is what you don't do. You're gonna find out quick on that one. I mean, if Khalil Mack has 15 sacks this year, it was a terrible trade. Terrible. But if Oakland hits a home run, maybe they don't believe in Derek Carr. Maybe they trade up and get a quarterback, I was thinking. But, I mean, other than that, I don't see it. Well, let's take this a step further since we just let's rip some more teams while we're at it. We're going to go over or under win totals, and we'll just do quick, rapid-fire over or under. Cardinals, 5.5.
Over.
Yeah, the over's minus 200. I'm going to say over, but by a hair at 6. Falcons, 9. Your boys.
Over.
I'm going to say over 2. Over 9. Baltimore, 8.
Ooh, under.
I'm going to say push. I'm going to say 8 and 8. I don't know. There's something about them I just don't really like.
I mean, they get to play Cleveland and Cincy twice, so they'll probably get 3 or 4 wins right there, but I don't see them winning much more after that.
The craziest part about this whole list is the Cardinals have the lowest over-under win total, 5.5. And this is according to this is Oddshark. So, all right, Bills are 6.
Under.
I mean, how long could they go with Peterman for? I'm going to say under 2, but, I mean, they got to put Josh Allen in there. Sink or swim, kid. It's time to go. Panthers at 9. A couple more of your boys.
Oh, I'm big on Cam Newton. I'm going to go over.
Man, the under is minus 205 on them.
I think they're right around a 9-10 win team.
Yeah, I agree. That number is like right on the button. I think for some reason, though, Cam's a winner, and they always get into the playoffs. I'm going to say 10. I'm going to say over. Bears, 6.5. This is another trendy pick.
I'm not buying into Mitch Trubisky and the Bears. I've seen a lot of write-ups about, the Bears are going to be the surprising team this year, but I'm going under.
Yeah, people in Chicago think they're going to be the Rams of this year. I ain't buying it. I'm going under 6.5. Trubisky stinks, dude. Bengals, 6.5. What a waste of time.
I absolutely hate the Bengals. I have A.J. Green on my fantasy because I had to take them under.
Dude,
I hate them.
Yeah, I'm going under. I'm going 6-10, and maybe this will be finally the year Marvin Lewis is gone. Browns, 5.5. Sorry, the Browns and the Cardinals have the lowest win totals, which is, expected. 5.5 for the Browns.
Under. They'll probably win 4 games.
I'm gonna go over. I think they're like 7-9. I think their defense has improved, even though Michael Kendricks is in jail. Dallas Cowboys 8.5, which is way entirely too high for them, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. They don't have a receiver. They literally don't have a receiver. Under.
Now, I'm not like one of these other guys or one of these websites that'll just tweet about the Dallas Cowboys because really they're irrelevant to me. I'm going under big time. The Cowboys, this isn't like hatred or anything. This is just my brain. This team absolutely sucks. They are going 4-12 this year, and they're going to have to restart everything because they're going to have to make a decision if they're going to pay Prescott or not. That offensive line is history. This team sucks. Michael Gallup, come on, man. Please, spare me. Under.
And I'm saying Garrett's on his way out?
Yeah, I think this will probably be it for him, too. Honestly, I think this is it for Dallas, dude. They really screwed up that franchise big time. But this team is a mess, and it's not hatred coming out. It's just brain cells. This team sucks. 4-12.
I'm with you.
Denver, 7. New quarterback. New running back.
7's a good mark.
7 is a good number. Minus 170 is the over.
That's right. I feel like that's right there. 7 and 9 sounds pretty accurate for them.
Yeah, I'm thinking they surprise a little bit. I'd say 8 and 8, 9 and 7. So I'll go with the over. Detroit 7.5.
This is another team I'm not. You can never count Stafford out. As much as I hate
New
to say
coach,
that,
Patricia. Matt Patricia, the
quarterback,
pencil in his ear.
Patricia, he might know what he's doing. I mean, he did it in New England for a while. I'm going to take. Now, you know what? They got to play Minnesota and Green Bay twice. I'm going to take the under.
Okay, I'm going to take the over. I kind of sneaky like Detroit. I think one of these years, Stafford's going to be the MVP of the league. I really do. Because Matt Ryan came out of nowhere. I think he could have a Matt Ryan type season from 2016. If not this year, maybe next year. But I think the Lions are going to be pretty good. I'm going to go over that number, and I think they sneak into the playoffs. Green Bay, 10. Big number.
10. I'm still going over. You said it earlier, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, I'm with you. Over. Big number, but it doesn't really matter. If Rodgers is the quarterback, he looked amazing last year. People forget. But he was on his way to winning the MVP before he got hurt last year. The Vikings wouldn't even have been a thing if Aaron Rodgers hadn't got hurt. So I'm going over the 10 as well. Houston, 8.5, another team that I kind of like. So I'll start there. I'm going to go over the 8.5. I think they're going to win that South Division.
Yeah, I mean, the South Division's pretty weak, which kind of favors going over that 8.5 number, but it's going to be very close. I got them at 8-8 or 9-7. I kind of like Deshaun Watson if the knee's healthy. I'm going to go over.
All right. So, yeah, 9-7, 10-6. That's what I'm thinking probably wins that division anyway. I think the Jags regress a little bit. We'll get to them in a second. Colts, 6.5.
I got to go under. You got no idea what Andrew Luck's going to do, and with the exception of Andrew Luck, they really have no one. So,
yeah.
Under.
I'm going to go under, too, 6-10. I don't know what Frank Reich's going to be like as a head coach. Whatever. Jaguars, 9. I know everybody loves me saying Jaguars.
Awesome. I'm going to go over. I rag on Blake Bortles, and I still don't believe in Blake Bortles, but he doesn't have to be Aaron Rodgers or Tom Brady or even Carson Wentz. He just has to manage the game. So I'm going to go over. That defense is awesome, and Fournette, hand the ball to Fournette and get in the end zone and don't let the other team score, and that's probably what they're going to do often.
Kind of surprised you went that way, to be honest with you. I'm going to go under. This team talks too much shit for my taste. I just don't really like it. They got the AFC Championship game, but you should have won, man. I'm going under. I think this team collapses a little bit. I just can't. I can't believe you're going over and I'm going under. This is a total reverse from last season, but whatever. Chiefs, 8.5.
I like Big Red.
You love me.
I'll take the over.
I'm going over, too.
Patrick Mahomes, baby.
I'm going over.
I think him and Tyreek Hill are going to connect on a lot of 50-yard bombs, dude. It's going to be like when Deshaun was on the Eagles with big launch.
If Mahomes is good, this team's going to be scary because they got Sammy Watkins, too. And Alex Smith, I felt held them back. If Mahomes can light it up, this team's going to be pretty good. I'm going way over that number. I'm going 10 or 11. Chargers, 9.5. This is like the sexy pick now, just so you know. The Chargers.
Yeah.
Everybody's picking them to win the Super Bowl.
I'm a big fan.
So you're going over.
I mean, I feel like people pick them every year. I'm going over. I don't think they have what it takes to win the Super Bowl, but Rivers, he's a fighter, dude. I can't stand him. His antics on the sideline bother me, but he's good, and I think Melvin Gordon's going to have a big year. I think Keenan Allen and Mike Williams are also going to have good years. So I'm taking the over. They're going to score a lot of points this year.
They are going to score a lot of points, and I love Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram. That's a scary defensive line. I'm going to go over, too. Kind of buying in myself. I think the Chiefs and the Chargers both get in the playoffs in a weak AFC. You got to throw that in, too. So I like both of those teams. I'm going to go over the 9.5. Rams, 10. I'm going to go over. I already said I love them, so I'm going to go 11 or 12.
They're good. I think I'm going to go – they're right around 10 wins, but I wasn't high on them, so I'm going to go under. Probably win 10, but we'll see.
All right. I'm going to go over. I'm buying in. Like I said earlier, I'm buying in on them. The Dolphins, 6.5. Under.
Yeah, under, and go to the next.
Yep. All right, your boys, Captain Kirk, the Vikings, 10.
Wow. 10 wins. I don't know. I don't know how you bounce back after a beatdown. And again, I've been saying this since when is Kirk Cousins Tom Brady? I mean, I can't remember it, but we said his record as a starter. I know I put it in the article and I've been tweeting about it. I can't remember what it is, but it's sub 500 as a starter. So I don't know why everyone's on this train. I think they were better off with Keenum. I'm taking the under.
I don't know if they were better off with Keenum, but how much better could Cousins play this year than Keenum played last year? I can't see much of a difference. Packers are healthy. Like I said, they wouldn't even have been in the playoffs last year had Aaron Rodgers been healthy the whole season. I'm going to say push 10-6. No better. Patriots 11. Over.
No, again, I got to take the over. I mean, that means they're going to win 12 games, which is absolute insanity, but their division is 6 wins for them, which it's hard to sweep your division, but not when it's
not when
the
you're
Jets,
New England.
Bills, and stuff. Yeah. And not when you're playing Tannehill, Darnold, and Peterman.
Yeah. And
so I'm going to take the over until Tom Brady proves me wrong.
Yep. And eventually he is going to prove us wrong, though, dude. I mean, how long could he go for? Like I said, I went over, but man, eventually it's going to be like, oh my gosh, the Patriots are over. Could happen this year. I mean, I guess we got to seeing is believing, right? Saints 9.5 over.
Yeah, I think I was maybe a year off last year. I said it could be Breeze and Carney's kind of going out party. They've been together forever, but maybe they're going to keep doing it. I don't know, but I'm going over. I love the Saints.
Yeah.
I love Breeze. That once Ingram's back, dude, that running back combo, and even when he's not, okay, just give it to Kamara.
Yeah, over for sure. Giants 7 under.
Yep, under, definitely under. I do like Saquon. I think I saw a lot of people saying they should have took Darnold. I think the Browns are stupid for not taking Saquon, but that's a different story. But anyway, I'm big on Saquon. I think he'll have a good year, but that doesn't change the fact that that team is the same 3-13 last year. They got a better running back. They got no offensive line. Under. Definitely under.
Yeah, it could be a push, but I'm with you on like I said, the under. They should have picked Darnold. They're going to regret it. The Jets, the team that did take Darnold, under 6.
Jets under. Yeah.
Under. Oakland 8. Got to be under.
Yeah, that's way under. That sounds like free money to me. I think they're an absolute disaster, and maybe they're overrating John Gruden because Gruden's the man. But their team stinks. They got a bunch of old veterans at their skill positions, and Derek Carr, who had half a good year. I think Oakland is they're like Dallas. They're on the wrong side of trending downward.
Yeah, I think they're going to have to go to the bottom before they get back to the top. I'm going to get your Eagles over under 10 because I'll do mine later. 10 for the Birds.
Over. Absolutely. I still think they're the best team. They're better than they were when they just won 13 games and won the
They are. They're They got a lot of horses coming back. Pittsburgh 10.5. How's Pittsburgh's over under higher than the Eagles?
Insanity. I think they'll probably win 10 games, but to make it higher than the Eagles is just disrespectful. Still talented, but I'm going under.
Go with the over. San Fran 8.5. You buying it?
Under. I'm not buying into Jimmy G. Old takes exposed everyone else. I am not buying into Jimmy G. I don't care what his record is as a starter. 8.5 is outrageous. I think they win 5 games, maybe 6.
Wow, I think they win maybe more than 5, but I think they got 8-8 written all over them, so I'll go under. But the hook. Seahawks 8. I'm going to say under. I think the wheels are falling off in Seattle.
You know, if it was a little bit of a lower number, I would have said under, but that 8 makes me think that they know something we don't. And
Under's
Russell
minus
Wilson's
180, though.
Okay.
I'm going under. Heavy under.
I don't like betting against Russell Wilson. I really don't like doing it. The one time I did do it, they perception on the 2-yard line, but I think I'm going to take the over on this one.
All right. Bucks 6.5 under, dude.
Disaster.
Dirk
Absolute
Kotter,
disaster.
man. How does he have a job? Titans new coach 8. I think over.
8. I think over too. Sneaky playoff team. I'll take the over.
Yeah, I think Mariota's now that he actually has a capable offensive coordinator. It was the Rams offensive coordinator from last year. I think the sky could be the limit for the Titans. I think they win 10-2, man. I think 2 teams from the West and 2 teams from the South get in the playoffs. I do. I don't know. Maybe I'm drinking too much Kool-Aid. Redskins 7. Push just to end this because they suck. All right, Maddie, I'm going to get you out of here on this. I need your Super Bowl predictions and champion.
All right. Now, I just need to remind everyone that week 2 of last year, I said the Eagles over the Patriots. And I know I'm going to get crucified for not picking them to repeat and win one for win. Because I really, really, really want to do that. That's what I'm going to root for is an Eagles repeat. But I think the Falcons are going to do what Minnesota couldn't do, get the first ever Super Bowl home game and win the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
Finally give the fans what they should have had from 2 years ago.
Good
And I
Lord.
think Matt Ryan will beat Tom Brady.
Oh.
Tom Brady's going to lose, yet the GOAT is going to
God.
lose yet another Super Bowl, and the Falcons are going to win it.
Goodbye. Thanks for calling. Thanks for calling in, Matt. That's Matty Hudson. Every Tuesday morning, the power rankings will be out. You better be checking them. Matty Hudson, we'll talk to you.
Thanks, buddy.
Later, brother. All right, that's Matty Hudson, man. He's a wild card. He cracks me up. Matt is very opinionated. He's very brash. There's teams he loves. There's teams he hates. He's a crazy man having the Falcons at number 2, in my opinion. But, you know, he's got the Eagles number 1, the Falcons number 2 Thursday night. Lock it in. Something we'll have to give number 1 and 2 on Thursday night. All right. Now, when you think Eagles football, when you think fans, you think of one man. So for question number 2, we're going to bring in the legend of D5. He is, in my opinion, the number 1 Eagles fan going right now. He is Mr. Jordan Bruni. What's up, Jordan?
Yo, it's a lot better talking to you right now after we got that Super Bowl ring.
I'll tell you what, man. This time last year, who the hell would have thought that Nick Foles would be the Super Bowl MVP? The Eagles would be the reigning, defending Super Bowl champs. Who would have thought?
Well, you know, all our shows reported last year, you know, none of us predicted it, and I think I was pretty negative myself, but I'm a new man this year.
Yeah, so how has your life changed as like this mega Eagles fan, a guy that represents the Delaware Valley inside and out? How has your life changed as an Eagle fan? Are you calm, or are you going into the season a little differently? Let me get inside Jordan Bruni's head a little bit here.
No, my thing is that, you know, a lot of fans from other fan bases would say, well, let me know when you get a ring. Well, now we got a ring, and I let people know every single day, and it never gets old.
So you're just rubbing it right in their faces. You haven't used the joke, how many rings you got, have you?
You know, that's people's next thing. Like, Cowboys fans will be like, oh, well, let me know when you get 5. Well, okay, you haven't made it to an NFC championship in 23 and a half years. So, you know, I'm gonna tote as much as I can this year because we're the current reigning Super Bowl champions.
How are you going into this season? Is it like, okay, we got a boom or bust, Super Bowl or bust, or are you like, okay, they take a step back, whatever, we got Wentz, or like, what's your thought process?
Well, the thing is, it's going to be a lot tougher this season because every team that plays the Eagles is going to – the Eagles have a target on their back.
Yes.
So every game that an opponent has, like their Super Bowl, you take down the champions, that's your ultimate goal.
Especially Week 5.
Play the Eagles a lot harder.
Especially Week 5 against Minnesota. Your boys are coming back.
Yes. Exactly. You know, they have Kirk Cousins now. I think they actually regressed with their quarterback position because we beat him twice last year. So I don't think he's much to worry about.
That's what I just said to Matt. I was like, how could Kirk Cousins top what Keenum did last year? Unless he throws 30 touchdowns or 35 touchdowns, he's not going to top what Case Keenum did last year anyway. And they're lucky they even got in the playoffs because if Aaron Rodgers didn't get hurt, like I said, they wouldn't even have been in the playoffs.
Well, the Giants are the scariest team to worry about because A, they're in our division playing twice a year. B, they have 5 who will be one of the best rushers of our next six years, and they have Odell Beckham back. And their linebacker core looks a lot better. I think a lot of things might be going right for them this season, but I think they'll be contending with the Eagles as the NFC East champs.
Yeah, I definitely think they're the Eagles' biggest competition, and they're due for some positive regression. What's one thing that's worrying you about the Eagles' season right now? Is it the injuries? Or?
Well, there's actually 2 things. With DeFilippo and Frank Reich being removed from the organization and going on to bigger and better things, allegedly, you're going to kind of see who was really the brains of the operation and the offense last year. So you might see, a little bit of dip in strategy and what worked last year, but you never know. A lot of that could have been Doug Peterson. But another thing is, I've been harping on this last year, was running back. You lose LeGarrette Blount, who's a guy who you put in the third quarter, the fourth quarter when the defense is tired, and you throw somebody to jam it down their throat. And you don't got that guy anymore. You got Wendell Smallwood. And to my opinion, preseason, with the running backs, the guy who made the team is just the best of the worst. I mean, that's not including a guy, Clement. I think Clement's more of a slot back. I don't think it's a guy you can put in and take 174 carries, which is what LeGarrette Blount had last year. So you're going to add in 4 carries for Ajayi, which you don't know if you can do that, and you're going to put Wendell Smallwood in the LeGarrette Blount situation. And I know you're thinking, well, what about Darren Sproles? Well, Darren Sproles, in my opinion, isn't going to get more than 8 games. I don't think he has the body to hold up, going a whole year. He's old, he's a great player, but I don't see him going the whole entire season. So it's basically, to me, it comes down to running backs and coaching.
You know what? That's the first point you brought up with the coaching staff. That's something that a lot of people haven't really been talking about. It is a pretty big deal when you're replacing an offensive coordinator and a quarterbacks coach. I know Doug runs a show, but that's not something you hear, and it's definitely something worth looking at here in the early going because the Falcons switched offensive coordinators. I know Dan Quinn's primarily a defensive coach, but they kind of struggled to start the season. They picked up as the season moved on, but it's definitely something to keep an eye on. I'm not as worried about the running backs as you are. I think Ajayi could be a horse. I am worried about the injuries in general, though, especially for the early going. I think they'll struggle to start the year, and I think they're going to pick it up as the year goes on, especially once Wentz gets under center. So what are you thinking about Thursday night?
Thursday night, I think it's going to be a rough first half. I think you're going to see a little bit of what you saw of Foles in the preseason. Overthrown balls, lack of awareness, just a little bit of slow. Obviously, he's very, very slow in the pocket. But
obviously, we know that though. We know that though.
Yeah, we do. It'll be a low-scoring game. But I think the Eagles make some repairs the second half, and it ends up being like 16-13, which is almost actually is close to what the playoff score was.
Yeah, I'm kind of feeling what you're. I'm kind of on board with you. I'll give my prediction a little later in the show, but I think it's going to be an ugly game. I think play in general in the NFL is just going to be sloppy. It always is the first 3 weeks. It's just going to be ugly. It's an extended preseason. Majority of these guys haven't even played snaps. They haven't hit. It's just going to be ugly for the first 2-3 weeks. So I agree with you. I think it's going to be a little low-scoring game. We'll see if the Eagles can rise to the occasion. Foles always rises to the occasion, though. There's one thing you can't take away from that guy. This guy knows the big stage.
That's one thing. I put thought into because what happened these were preseason games, but however, I feel like he doesn't have that chip on his shoulder right now because of how he's been playing the past 2 games. So maybe he just completely blows that right out of the water. Comes out this game just like he did with the Vikings game.
It's possible that the preseason was a wake-up call, too, because all he's been doing all season is doing interviews, signing autographs, writing a book. He hasn't really – I don't think he was out there working on his game a lot. How much time did he have? And I don't think this guy ever thought he would be in this position anyway.
Yeah, and Foles is the type of quarterback who doesn't have any basically, he'll either have 100+ QB rating or he'll be down in like the 30s.
Yeah, he's either he's hit or miss. There's no in between. He's so hit or miss. I can't believe me and you have been going through these damn battles with Nick Foles for, I swear to God, our entire friendship. Literally, since the days we were wearing those idiotic Foles jerseys in the parking lot, Chip Kelly era, to now. We're still going back and forth with Nick Foles. My head's going to explode. I can't wait till Carson Wentz is back, man. I love what Nick Foles did. I totally appreciate it. Obviously, he won us our first Super Bowl, but, man, it'll be nice to get Carson Wentz back.
Oh, hell yeah.
It's just to end. I love Foles, and he'll never have to buy a drink in Philadelphia as long as he lives. He's a legend in this town. But for God's sake, can I just get back? Can I get my life back? Can I get Wentz back under center? Jesus Christ. It's just too much at this point. All right, so I got to get your Super Bowl predictions before you get out of here. Are you feeling the Birds or not so much this year?
Right, I can't really be a homer. It's tough to go back.
You can't be a homer? You are literally a homer.
No, because I did not think the Eagles were going to pull that off last year, and I don't think they're going to pull it off this year. The Super Bowl hangover, I think, is a real thing.
I was waiting for you to get there. I was waiting for you to get to the Super Bowl hangover. I knew you were going to bring that up.
Well, the Patriots are a different animal. But actually, I think Pittsburgh Steelers will be the champions this year. Ben Roethlisberger he's lost weight. He looks pretty good in training camp. Looks half decent during preseason. Everything just seems to be clicking. They have a lot of talent. They just got to get it done on the field.
All right. Well, we'll see who they're going to play. The Eagles?
Ooh, that's a tough one, man. I could see the Eagles being there.
So you get the All-Pennsylvania Super Bowl finally.
Yeah, I can see the Rams being there also, but
I like the Rams. All right. Well, we'll go with the Steelers as the champions, and we'll take it. I'll give my picks later. Jordan, we'll see you at D5 Thursday night. I need you as animalistic as ever. Can I get one?
Oh, of course.
Can I get one?
E-A-G-L-E-S Eagles!
All right, that's Jordan Bruni. Ladies and gentlemen, he is an animal. You got to check him out at D5. Don't forget that he called a Minnesota radio station last year, talked trash, and it went viral. He is out of his mind. He'll be back with Mouthpiece all year long. We'll have Jordan. So, I knew Jordan was going to be a little timid about the Eagles winning back-to-back. As big of a fan as he is, he's a little timid with picking the Eagles to win the Super Bowl. He hates to be a homer, but he's an ultimate homer. So I decided I was curious who he was going to pick to win the Super Bowl, and he went with the Steelers. I think he thinks the Eagles are going to be in the Super Bowl, but I don't think he wants to say it. So I'll give my Super Bowl predictions out later, and I'm still marinating, to be honest with you. This stupid Rams fascination, I just think they're a good team. I do. I know I said it with Matt. I said it with Jordan. I think they're a good team. Rodgers is always going to be there. Rodgers has to win a Super Bowl eventually. Him and Nick Foles have the same Super Bowl ranks. All right, just keep that in mind. So eventually he's got to win one, don't you think? Another one. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm still marinating, but it's time to bring in our third guest. Let's take a break from the actual football and let's start looking towards fantasy football because I got the guru in here for number 3. He's coming all the way from San Diego, checking in with us during his lunch break. He's the man. He's the myth. He's Mr. Shane Dunphy. What's up, Shane?
What's up, Daddy?
How we doing, brother?
Happy to be back on. Football is back, baby.
How are the sunny skies of San Diego?
I'm outside right now, outside the office. I feel like it's getting burned already.
No humidity, huh?
No humidity. Just another day in paradise, man.
It must be nice. It's sweltering hot in the Delaware Valley, and it's going to be nice for you all football season while we're sitting here freezing our asses off. So I'll be pretty pissed at you all season. But you got to bring the business. I need your fantasy stud, your sleeper, and I need a bust. Help us out. Help the people out here.
So my stud for the year is none other than Mr. Aaron Rodgers comeback season. This guy just signed one of the biggest contracts the NFL's ever seen. There's no doubt in my mind he's going to bring it. The guy's just a gamer. No secret that he's just future Hall of Famer. I have no question that if you get him on your team, you're looking at 20-plus points a week as a floor. He's just a stud and makes everyone around him better. So he's my guy that's going to go absolutely nuts this year. He should be QB1. As far as sleepers go, kind of was out in the article we released earlier, Royce Freeman. This is my equivalent to my Kareem Hunt call from last year. This guy, total package. I mean, they finally have a quarterback out in Denver, so I feel like Demaryius Thomas is just finally thanking John Elway for something, but they'll be able to move the ball. And if you look at this dude at all in preseason, he's an absolute horse. And I think all season long, he's going to be a go-to guy. And, I mean, there's no shot he's splitting time. Maybe early on, but he'll be the feature guy there, I think.
Yep, and they announced that he will be the starter. I agree with you there. I really like that pick. You turned me on to him big time. Didn't get him in any of my drafts, but I should have listened to you.
The last guy, the breakout guy for me, it's going to be Trey Burton. I mean, I loved him when he was on the Birds, but I have a fascination with Zach Ertz, favorite player. Guy's a beast. His wife's hot. But Trey Burton, he got absolutely paid, and he deserves it, and he's going to prove it this year in the Windy City. And we'll see if Mitchell Trubisky's the guy. I hope he is, but Trey Burton in preseason has been lighting it up if you look at some of his stats, and he only played in about half the snaps. So he's definitely going to be a focal point of that offense for sure.
And Trey Burton will always be a fan favorite here in Philly. Come on, Philly special. Maybe they can run a little
Did you see
tight
that
end
they're unveiling the statue
Yep.
of Folden Peterson? It's going to be incredible, and I can't wait for the season.
Yeah, Bruni caught a picture of it, and I pussed out and took the tweet down because I didn't want Bud Light coming after me because I love Bud Light so much. That was the last thing I needed in my life was to be banned from Bud Light. I just didn't need it in my life. So, yeah, I took it down. I pussed out to everybody that saw it. I bitched out, but yep. And give me your bus before you got to get out of here.
Yeah, my boss this year. I mean, there's a couple guys that I think are going to come crashing down to earth. For me, there's a couple here, but I'm trying to give the one that I think has the most potential to just totally shit the bed. And I'm going to go with it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys as a whole. And it makes me so happy to say that because I hate them with a burning passion as much as everyone else does back home. But you know, the line's banged up, and they have one of the best in the league. I think I heard today that Martin has a better chance of missing the whole season than being ready for week 1. I mean, I feel bad for the guy with what he's got going on. I hope he gets healthy, but I mean, they got no receivers. And you know, Zeke's probably still going to do Zeke things, but if I'm any defense, I'm stuffing the box because I'm not worried about anyone on the outside. The safety blanket, Jason Witten's gone.
Yeah.
Back is going to regress big time, and Jerry Jones is going to light whatever speck of hair he has left on his head on fire this year. You know, Tony Romo might get a call for a job about midway through if he's not golfing on the Pro-Am.
He's calling the Super Bowl this year. My ears are going to be bleeding. All right, well, we Dallas Cowboys, I can't argue there. I do have Zeke in one of my leagues.
Zeke will be fine because they're going to try and feed him about 25, 30 times a game, but eventually teams are going to catch on that Dak Prescott cannot throw the football.
Yep, and you'll see that in the Wentz report again this year. We're going to track it one more time just in case. And I got to grab your Super Bowl prediction here, too.
Super Bowl prediction. Put me on the spot. Wow. Man, NFC stacked. And the only team that I'm really nervous about, I'm going to be honest with you, is the LA Rams. And I'm out here in Rams and Chargers territory now. So I could see them going to the bowl if it's not the Birds. We just got to hope Carson comes back and he comes back better than ever. And then, I don't know, AFC, for some reason, I'm thinking that the Pats have a chance to go back again.
Sure.
It pisses me off, but I don't want to say the Pats just because I'm done with Brady. Please just retire. You're the best ever. I'm sick of it. I want a new team in there. Just absolute wild card out of the West. I think Phil Rivers finally might turn it on.
They're the sexy pick. You imagine you get LA Super Bowl out there.
That'd be incredible.
I gotta be. That would make me kind of sick, honestly. Yeah, we'll see. All right, Shano. So you'll be calling in. We got to work around your schedule this year. Might be a little difficult, but we'll definitely have some article posts and some studs and sleepers as the season goes on. All right, my man.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, thanks. Yeah, Shane. We'll talk to you soon.
Birds.
Yep.
Later.
All right, that's Mr. Shane Dunphy. Dunphy really knows his shit when it comes to fantasy. I'm telling you right now, check his articles. He'll have a post a week. We're also going to do something a little bit different this year. You can tweet me your fantasy football questions, and I will feature every question in an article. We're going to put it out Wednesdays, I believe. It's either going to be Wednesday or Thursday. But shoot your questions all week. I'll answer them in an article. I'll answer every last one of them. Just like I did with the draft grades. I graded every single draft. I will answer every single question. not pick up and drops questions. I mean, you can shoot them, but I want to put the article out on Wednesday, so pickups and drops will probably be already done. If there's any last second adds and drops you want to ask, you can do it. We'll do lineup questions, we'll do studs, we'll do sleepers. A lot of fantasy coming at you. Hopefully everybody enjoyed the draft grades. I had a blast doing it. Don't take it too personal because nobody knows shit. It's fantasy football, so just don't take it too personal. All right, so let's transition back to the Eagles, the reigning champs, the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champions. And for this, I got to bring in Rob McLaughlin. Question number 4. He's the most rational of this group. He is a podcast personality, but he too, like the rest of the crew, have moved on to greener pastures. He's coming to us via the Steel City, Pittsburgh. He is Rob McLaughlin. What's up, Rob?
Not much here in the city of the great Big Ben Roethlisberger.
Oh, my God. You're making me sick.
Nah,
my own flesh and blood's
lead.
in Pittsburgh. Ugh. Disgusting to me. Especially only during football season.
Yeah, the good news is I went to Heinz Field and the link is 50 times better.
Good. All right, Rob. So I'm bringing you on here to wrap this up. You're my last contributor coming on. We got to go through the Eagles schedule because I feel like Bruni's too over the top. I feel like Hudson's too irrational. Dunphy's got fantasy on lock. I'm way too irrational, so I need you to do this exercise with me. I thought that was the best course of action here. What do you think?
Let's get it going.
All right, let's do it. So let's start with Thursday night. Atlanta, Eagles, the rematch of the divisional round playoffs in the link. The Eagles are a 2.5-point favorite. Now, there's no Wentz. There's no Jeffrey. We know the injuries. We know Atlanta's relatively healthy. How are you feeling about this game?
I'm not feeling good. I think the Super Bowl hangover, no Wentz. I think the Falcons are going to come out hot, start the season off with a win.
I'm super nervous about the revenge factor here. I think the injuries are going to play a major factor. I really do. My thing is, you're getting Sproles back. You're getting Peters back. Mike Wallace is new. Shelton Gibson's your third wide receiver. Goddard's new. It's just a lot of new in a very short time. If you had Wentz out there, it wouldn't be a big issue. It's just a lot of new for me. I hate to. I really don't want to pick the Falcons, but I think the Falcons are going to win this game. I think it's going to be real ugly. I think the Eagles' defense is elite, though, so I think it's going to be just an ugly game. I don't know how much they're going to be able to score, but Foles was pretty damn good against the Falcons last time around. The second half, he was 12 of 15 for 145 yards. That pretty much started that improbable run. So I think Foles does rise to the occasion, but as we saw last year, the Patriots got hammered week 1, and that didn't mean shit. So I don't know what this really means if the Eagles were to lose, like, say, 17-14 or 20-17 or 24-21, and that's kind of in the territory I'm looking. I do think the Falcons are going to win this game. I just got to be honest. I got to give you my honest opinion. I can't sit here and bullshit you. I do think the Falcons are going to win. I think it'll be by a slim margin. I'm going to go with 24-21. I'm going to pick the Falcons for week 1. They, spoil the party, but it's all right. You get smacked back into reality, and I think that's kind of what you're thinking with the Super Bowl hangover a bit there.
Yeah, I'm in agreement. I think it'll be a close game for sure. I just don't think the Nick Foles magic is going to be able to start the season off the same way it ended last year. I think the Falcons will pull it off.
Now, don't get me wrong. I if the Eagles won this game, I wouldn't be shocked. I don't think the Falcons are the 72 Dolphins or anything like that. I think it's a lot of new and a lot of injuries all at once. I think the Eagles are going to be a team that gets stronger as the season goes on. So speaking of as the season goes on, week 2 they go to Tampa. It'll be a matchup most likely of backup quarterbacks, Foles versus Fitzpatrick. Who you got here? Eagles in Tampa, week 2. Sunday the 16th. Birds?
Yeah, it'll turn it around in Tampa Bay. It's a cushy matchup. Our defense is superior. We're not going to be able to move the ball on us on the ground at all. I think we'll pull it out without worry.
I agree with you. The rest will also help the Eagles. They'll be motivated. They're going to go down. Vinny Curry, Bo Allen. They're going to take care of the Bucs. I agree. So we're both at 1-1. Now, week 3 at home against the Colts. Wentz could be ready for this game. I think he's going to start this game. Let's say he does start this game. Who you got?
I got the Eagles. I've been reading the articles too. I think that Wentz does start, and they'll take care of the Colts at home. The Colts defense just isn't there. Even if Jeffrey's still out, it's not going to impact it. We'll be able to move the ball up and down on our home turf. We'll win the game.
Yeah, I think the Eagles are going to rout the Colts. Sorry, Frank Reich. Welcome home, but Carson Wentz is going to come out like a maniac. Might throw 5 touchdowns. I got the Eagles in this one too. Then at Tennessee.
I got the Eagles, but this is a weird game here. 1 p.m. in Tennessee is a fine time.
Tennessee's a pretty good home team too.
I know. I'm sticking with the Eagles, but that's an interesting matchup.
I agree with you, and we're usually on the same wavelength with stuff like this. This is a tough game. This isn't – the Eagles aren't going to win this game by, 30 points or anything. This kind of reminds me of going to San Diego last year. Of course, the travel isn't the same, but it's that game, and, you're coming off potentially beating the Colts, your first home win, your quarterback coming back. It's pretty emotional, and then you got to go to Tennessee. I think it's going to be a real tough game, but I'm also going to go with the Eagles. So we're both at 3-1. Kind of boring so far. All right, this one maybe will shake some things up a bit. At home against the Vikings, Week 5, October 7th. Oh, boy.
The Vikings are going to come in, get some revenge on last year, and win the game.
Let me tell you something.
Low scoring.
Let me tell you something right here. You couldn't be more wrong. Foles. The Eagles beat the Vikings, and they go home crying again. I got a W. Big fat W. All right? Then they go to the Giants. All right, so you're at – just to recap, you're at 3-2. I'm at 4-1. At the Giants.
W.
I'm in agreement. W. Make it simple as that. W. I think the Giants 8-8 team at best. Already discussed that, but I think that's a W for the Eagles. At home against the Panthers.
That's a win. You got to figure that you have to take one at home against the Panthers and the Vikings. I think we beat the Panthers.
I agree. We're definitely going to beat the Panthers. Now this is in London against Jacksonville.
Oh, God. That's a good defense to be playing in London, 9:30 a.m. I think that will win the game, though, in London.
All right, you're going W? Man.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to say loss. Got to lose a game at some point. And I think this is it. This is a tough spot. I mean, I could easily see the Eagles winning this game, but I think they're going to lose about 5 games, and this is probably going to be one of them. This is a tough spot. Jaguars are used to playing in London. I'm going to go with the Jaguars here. So I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6-2. You're at 6-2. We got a bye week, and then we come back to at home against Dallas.
This is a win. Sunday Night Football, win.
Great. W. Absolute rout. Sunday night, 8:20, NBC, Eagles rout. Then they go to the Saints.
Before Kamara was talking all that ish, I would have said that this was going to be a loss. But now I don't know because it might turn into a little heated affair. And the Eagles step up to the occasion. I would like to know what this line is, but I don't have it in front of me. I guess I'm going to stick with my original prediction. The Saints win this game.
Wow. I got to be honest with you. I kind of agree with you. I'm looking at it myself. That would be 2 out of 3 losses, which I don't know. But I'm going to go with a loss here, too. This is a tough game. I mean, in New Orleans, raucous crowd. Saints are loaded. I think this would be a loss for the Eagles, although I don't see them losing 2 out of 3, but we'll see. Then at home against the Giants, I'll take it from here. I got a W.
Yeah, that's a W.
That's a W. At home against the Giants. At home against the Redskins.
W.
At Dallas, 425, Fox. Joe Buck,
Bad
Troy
news.
Aikman.
They got to lose one of these division games, and this is it. Week 14, we go down to the Cowboys.
No, they're not going to lose this game. They're going to absolutely tattoo Dallas in Dallas. But here's another tough one. Week 15, back to the scene of the crime in L.A., the Rams, Eagles, the Carson Wentz revenge game. Take your pick.
I got the Eagles winning.
I'm going to go with the Rams. Although I think Wentz is going to have a monster game. I'm going to go with the Rams because I'm going to pick them to beat the Texans and the Redskins, and I'm going to have them going 12-4. How about you?
I have them winning out, too. Texans and Redskins.
Winning out. So your losses are Cowboys, at the Saints. You're also 12-4.
Yes.
We're both 12-4. We'll take that for what it's worth. We were pretty high on the Eagles last year too. We went, I think, 10-6 and 9-7, 10-6 and 8-8, one of the two. But that was pretty high on the Eagles last year.
It was. Here's my question for you. You think they're sweeping the division?
Yeah, sweeping the division, beating everybody twice, unless they lose to Washington in Week 17 and they rest people and go 11-5.
Something's got to give there.
I don't think so. I think the division's pretty bad, dude. Oh, you're scared of Alex Smith and Dak Prescott and a 45-year-old Eli Manning? That's the other quarterbacks in the division.
It's definitely bad, but it's hard to sweep the division.
It's not when you're playing bad teams. I think Dallas is really bad. I think the Giants are probably the second best team, and they don't really impress me too much, to be honest with you.
No, Eli might not even be playing by Week 12.
No. All right, so now I got to get you. You're the last one on the hook. Super Bowl picks.
Real hard. We got the Eagles versus the Patriots in a rematch.
A rematch.
Except we have Tom Brady winning. Patriots win the Super Bowl.
Tom Brady gets his revenge.
Indeed.
Wow, wouldn't you like to see that? All right, Rob, we'll catch back with you. Thank you for joining the show. 12-4, all right?
All right, thanks.
All right, brother. Later. All right, that was Rob McLaughlin. Of course, Rob picked the Patriots. He loves himself some Patriots. I got to give it to the kid, though. He said last year on whatever episode it was, he said there's two teams in the NFL. It's the Eagles, the Patriots, everybody else. He was pretty dead right. He's going with the Eagles and the Patriots again. All right, now it's time for my Super Bowl predictions. Yes, CBS will be the network. It'll be Tony Romo and Jim Nantz. Tony Romo will be calling out the plays all night long. I've been marinating all show. I've been marinating all week. Let me tell you something. I think the Eagles are the best team in football. I really do. I think Peters back, Wentz back, Hicks back, Marigo's back, Sproles back. I think this team is going back to the Super Bowl. You can't tell me otherwise. They're loaded on all fronts. If Wentz is healthy, this team will be even better than they were last year, especially down the stretch, and they won the whole damn thing. I think they play, man, the AFC is so brutal. I'm going to say they play the Pittsburgh Steelers in the all-Pennsylvania Super Bowl. We finally get it. And I think the Philadelphia Eagles win the Super Bowl. They go back-to-back. Carson Wentz is the Super Bowl MVP. All is right with the world. Doug Peterson can write another book, and the city of Philadelphia will be back on Broad Street and at the Art Museum. Eagles, Steelers, book it. Robbie is in Pittsburgh, so we'll have a lot of on-location shit-talking to do. The season is upon us. It is go time. Week 1, kickoff in Philadelphia. Eagles, Falcons. I got the Falcons winning. Don't hate me too much. I got to call it like I say it, but I do think the Eagles will get stronger as the season goes on. And obviously I have them winning the Super Bowl. All will be right with the world once Carson Wentz gets under center. I do think Foles will tread water. They'll go 1-1, and then hopefully Wentz will be back week 3. We will be back next week, but keep looking out for all of our great content. We'll have a game preview Thursday. We will have Locks on Friday. Every Friday, make sure you're checking in for that. We're going to have a look around the league on Monday and all the rest of the great content that we have on Mouthpiece. Football season is here. We dominated last year, and we will dominate again this year. Check us out. Tell your friends. MouthpieceSportsTalk.com. We got you covered for football season. Go Birds.